Ryan here, Bo there. We are coming at you with the Google Stadia Founders Edition controller unboxing. Bo, you're our new tech editor. Tech me here. What do we got?
So this is the Founders Edition for Google Stadia. It's now sold out, so you can't actually get this anymore, but it's been replaced with the Stadia Premier Edition, which is basically the exact same thing, except for it no longer has a limited edition controller.
All right, so now you can't get this controller color we're about to see.
That's correct.
The one you can get's white.
It's white, yeah.
Well, let's crack it open and see what we've got. So let's just, nice and easy, there it is. Oh yeah, okay, it's like a cool super dark blue here, if you want to give that to you.
Yeah,
see while I get the rest of the contents out.
A Stadia controller here. This is this cool kind of dark blue, orange on accents. And yeah, the kit also comes with
USB-C cable, charging
cables.
Yeah, charging kit here. Get the rest of it out.
So the controller has a USB-C port right here, as well as a headphone jack on the front.
For those who may not be familiar, what is that, my friend?
This looks like a charging cable of some sort. This is, I believe, for the Chromecast Ultra.
Which is this guy. That's where I was driving at, yes.
Yeah, so the Chromecast Ultra plugs into your TV via HDMI. It also has this port here for USB-C, and hidden somewhere in here, although I don't know where, it actually has an Ethernet port, but I don't know how to access it.
I know there was one on here.
Oh, it's there. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. It's on the plug. So that's if you are trying to hook up the Chromecast in somewhere in your house that doesn't have super great Wi-Fi, or especially for this, if you want a really stable connection for your streaming games, you can just plug straight into Ethernet and have a really stable connection.
Well, have you had a chance to spend much time with Stadia so far?
Not yet. I haven't actually played it any, but I've heard from our colleague Tom, who played with it a little bit last night, that when it works, it's super stable. It's really surprisingly, it looks great. The visuals are fantastic, and just like steady frame rate, everything. Having said that, when it was getting set up, had some issues getting it working to start with, so really it's all just going to come down to when it works great, but does it work? Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how this thing evolves, because it's, theoretically, day one will be the worst day this service ever has, and that it's all streaming based, so it's only going to improve as time goes on. So we've got a ton more coverage of Stadia, not only planned but underway now. We're covering it all month long as part of IGN First. We got to go down to Google and just talk to them for 2 days and try to answer as many of the burning questions that I certainly had, that our audience has. How's this thing work? How's it deal with latency? Where did it come from? We did a whole thing on how they designed this controller from the ground up. So a lot of coverage there. Keep an eye on that. And then coming up very soon, we'll have our review.
Yeah, we'll be reviewing the Stadia service as a whole, as well as the controller specifically. You can just use this as a controller for PC. I don't think it'll work with any of the consoles, of course. And yeah, so the controller, you also don't actually need the controller to use Stadia.
Right.
You can use just a regular like Xbox or PS4 controller plugged in, but this is how you get into Stadia right now, because right now the only access to Stadia is via Stadia Pro, which the Founders Edition and now the Premier Edition that's replaced it. It comes with 3 months of Stadia Pro. Stadia Pro is $9.99 a month, and it's not quite. So some people have thought that Stadia was like the whole Netflix for games, where you just get access to a catalog. That's not the case. The Stadia Pro is actually much more of kind of similar to like PlayStation Plus, where you get a free game every month. The first one that's offered is Destiny 2, the collection, and then they haven't announced what the additional free games will be, but those will be kind of doled out to you on a monthly basis. And then the rest of the games catalog, which there's 12 titles at launch. I can't list them right off the top of my head, but there's a handful of games. Pretty much, they've been known for a fair bit.
Yeah.
And those you purchase individually.
All right, so plenty to dig into with Stadia, but so far, I mean, they've made themselves a nice controller. So
yeah, it feels really great in the hand. It's nice triggers. Thumbsticks are responsive. The buttons feel great.
It almost feels to me, just offhand, like a kind of a merging, like a strange mishmash. Not strange, but just a mishmash of an Xbox controller and a DualShock. You've got the Align sticks like DualShock, but kind of the Xbox style triggers, and of course A, B, and X, Y buttons. But we'll see how it shakes out as a gaming peripheral, and we'll see how Stadia shakes out as a service. So, Bo, thank you so much. For much more on Stadia, keep it tuned right here to IGN.